What's up,
What are you
buddy?
talking to Sneako about today?
I don't know. I'm not sure where he is. I want to ask him about the Fresh and Fit stuff.
What about it?
Um, the Did you watch the DJ Academic stuff?
Ooh, yeah, I did. Yikes, bro.
Yeah,
Yikes.
yeah. So I wanna see what was going on in Sneako's head. I'm very curious as to why he like jumped in and encouraged it. Um, I have my theories, but I wanted to talk to him about it. Do you wanna see if you can be in the call? I can see. I'm sure he'll love to chat with you. His original moderate daddy.
I kind of have a. It's funny because I've been asked this so many times by so many different people over the past couple of weeks. If I know a lot of stuff by virtue of the age I am and the things that I've experienced and everything in terms of how to survive in this industry. If I were to sincerely play a mentorship role to somebody and they ignored me, it would actually drive me fucking crazy. I would actually go insane. So typically, yeah, when I have people on, I don't ever play the role of like the mentor. I usually just like listen and then see what's going on. And if they ask for advice, I'll like offer it. But I'm never explicitly in a mentorship role. Because one, I don't think most people want the advice because people like to figure it out themselves. There's a lot of egos in this industry, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then two, like I think it's very annoying and condescending when somebody tries to play that role. Did you ever watch The Wire?
No, I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, there's a line where there's a gangster about to kill another gangster, and the gangster that's about to be killed was like, "I was like a father to you," and then the other gangster replies, "I wasn't meant to play the son." Like nobody thinks that they need to be mentored. Everybody thinks they have the answer. So I'm not here to like try to like butt heads with somebody. I like to let people figure your own shit out. So yeah. So
It's kind of weird though, right? Like I don't know. Maybe it's just coming from my academic background, but like being mentored is like the greatest thing I ever got. Like I got 2 years straight under like one supervisor in my undergrad, and it was absolutely a mentorship role, and it was incredible. Like I learned so much, and there's like nothing more. In my mind, there's nothing more enjoyable than like basically getting to be the student, because like first of all, like the reality is like you get a lot of outs for being like a dumb idiot. So if you like say stupid shit or you're wrong, it's like it's fine, you're just a dumb student. So loving that avoidance of responsibility, but more importantly, you get like intimate one-on-one advice regularly from somebody who's been ahead of it. I don't understand. Like mentorship is like,
it's
I
different.
don't know, the best thing.
I think it's different when you're doing stuff like this, like online stuff, because the path isn't as rigidly carved and there's a lot of room for interpretation.
Isn't that the best place for mentorship though? Because you can have somebody like at your at your hand to like reactively help you figure out what's going on, and somebody who's been in it for 13 years. I know it won't be perfect one-to-one, but I feel like if anything, if you've already got a system and a structure, there's actually less need for mentorship. That's kind of why like
Here's why people are happy slash another $40 down the drain.
You can say that it's the best place for mentorship, but it's also the best place for egos, right? Like if I go and I talk to somebody who's like a really good chemical engineer or something, it's highly unlikely that I'm going to be like, well, actually, I can do this myself. I have my own statistical methods. I've got my own types of data analysis. Like, I don't need you, right? Because like, who the fuck is going to reinvent the wheel on, like stats or whatever, right? That it's going to be pretty rare for an ego to pop up there. But in like entertainment stuff, you're probably way more likely to, especially when you're on like when you're talking to like leaders in entertainment, there's probably going to be a lot more of a chance for egos to run high there, such that people aren't going to people just aren't going to want to hear the feedback, especially when you're critiquing them, right?
For sure. Yeah, it's like a mixture of both artist syndrome, but also like the artist who's self-selecting of saying, I'm valuable enough that I should be famous. So it's like kind of, you got like double level of ego going on.
Yeah.
So I guess so. It's just strange to me, but maybe that's just like coming from my academic background. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Mentorship
it's
is
also
good.
and then like you got to consider that like there's going to be a lot of feelings, especially at this point now, of like I told you so and stuff like that, which nobody ever wants to. I would never want to hear that, and that'll make people like more resistant to like feedback and everything. So yeah, there's all sorts of just a lot of psychological stuff at play,
So have the tides calmed for you? Are you doing okay?
My tides are super calm. I've learned so much about fighting online. I think I've like gotten really good at navigating.
Yeah. Do you want to mentor me the first time I get a major fight in it?
Yeah, I have so much great advice. If anybody ever wants to listen, yeah. Some people do. Actually, some people listen to something. It's like, wow, I can't believe it. Like the number one thing is that like, no matter what the online fight or drama is, just chill for like a few days and it'll be gone. Everything. Like no matter what.
Always.
It was funny over the Mizkif stuff that like both sides keep coming to me like asking questions and like, should I do that? And then it's like, I'd probably do this. I'd probably do that. It's kind of interesting to see everything, going down with everybody. But there's that. Stuff will go away. Just be chill. My number one advice is don't respond immediately. Like just chill. You can wait like a day to put out a response. It's very, very rare, especially the more complicated the drama gets or the more organized your adversaries are. It's very rare that you're going to be able to come up with a coherent, valid response to whatever you're being accused of or whatever the drama is in a single 2-hour thing. Like sleep on it, chill. Nobody ever got in trouble for taking 24 hours to release a statement. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's a good thing to think about, because one thing I've noticed like getting into this space is like feeling this rush to like jump in on stuff. And like every time a drama happens, I always just want to like go the opposite way. Not because I'm like even afraid from it. Usually it's just I don't give a fuck. And it seems so messy. But you're right. If you're embroiled in the middle of a drama, it doesn't matter if you wait because everyone's waiting for your response. So even if it takes 2 days, people are gonna still be fucking chomping at the bit for it.
There's also, this is something that's taken me a long time and I'm still like working on improving it. Something that's really good that if you can do this in life is learning like from cross disciplines and applying lessons you've learned from other things to other types of situations. So like a direct example of that is did you ever do customer service?
Yes.
Did you ever do restaurants in particular or anything time sensitive for customer service?
I did like fast food, if that counts.
Okay. Fast food can be an example, okay? So here's a golden rule of customer service. And even when you're in the heat of the moment, it doesn't feel true, but it is, okay? If you are running behind on your kitchen times, and if the food is taking a long time to come out, as long as it comes out good, people will shut the fuck up and be chill. Even if customers are irate, even if they're obstinate, even if they're screaming at you, as long as when the shit comes out and when the servers are friendly, everything will disappear as soon as they've got the first bite in their mouth, as soon as they've got their food. The worst thing you can do, if I have the opportunity between taking 10 minutes to get food out that's late or 5 minutes to get shitty food out that's late, it's tempting to go for the 5 minutes. But if you just fucking chill, wait until the shit is ready and it's done properly, everything's plated, everything's warm, everything's fresh, ready to go. As soon as people have the food, the worst they'll do is grumble. But if things are good, people will like laugh and move on. This is like a lesson for like, you don't have to release a statement immediately. Just wait a little bit. Even if people are grumpy, even if people are upset, as long as your statement is good and you've addressed everything, never, ever, ever, nobody has ever in the history of all of mankind come out and said, man, you should have released that yesterday. I can't believe you took one day. As long as your statement is good, coherent, concise, or whatever, then you're good to go. And I think that's the same lesson I would take from like the fast food shit. What is this? Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I don't know if you've ever read Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference.
Nope.
He's an FBI negotiator, and it's super good. Like, if you ever want a really good book on just like communication and like, I view like most of life as negotiations. It's just fantastic. But he talks a lot about the idea that like deadlines are arbitrary, which again, as like a rigid academic, was like probably the biggest principle I still struggle with, where he's like, even if you like, he gives an example, like a story where he was like negotiating with a team after he left the FBI, and he was negotiating like a really big sale for this company because he was a consultant. And they like flew to, I think, like Dubai for like 5 days. And the whole time he says that like there's this tactic that the people they're negotiating with, where they basically waste your time the full 5 days that you're there until like the last fucking minute. And then they try to drop basically a negotiation to more or less like rush you into the negotiation.
Sure. Okay.
And he basically like points at being like, even if you leave Dubai and you negotiate like 2 days later from home, they'll still want it because they still want your money.
Yeah.
And you won't lose anything, and you'll come to a better decision. Like, deadlines are always arbitrary, which is like, God, I wish more people understood. I wish I understood that more. I still operate like struggling with that concept a little bit.
Sure. Although the one thing you have to be careful there, and this is never brought up when that type of advice is given. Similar types of advice are given like for job interviews, like, oh, know your value, be ready to walk away and blah, 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 blah. That advice only applies when you have leverage. It's very important to understand that. So gaining leverage is really important, because if you go into, you know, some job interview, like the cock of the walk, and you're like super confident, blah, 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 and you're just like, oh, I've got a 4-year comp sci degree and no experience, like they're not going to give a fuck. Like you can try to, you know, talk shit all you want, but like at the end of the day, you're replaceable as fuck. So you have to have leverage before you begin the hardcore like negotiating strategies, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. Actually, I didn't think about that. But yeah, if you have any level of power, then it's arbitrary. But if you're like, if it's a cop and you're a citizen, you don't get to negotiate.
Yeah. You need the leverage is really important.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.